It's a huge week for the economy, culminating with the jobs report on Friday. So President Obama, with that in mind, I guess, sent his Treasury Secretary, Jack Lew, out on the Sunday talk show circuit this weekend. And Lew clearly was trying to shift the focus from what the administration describes as phony scandals to its economic policies. But he had a little trouble in doing that when he met Chris Wallace on Fox News Sunday talking about the IRS. Watch this.
So if this is supposedly behind us, it's been more than 2 months since he directed you to lead the investigation. Explain to me how it was that conservative groups were targeted by the IRS.
Well, look, first of all, Chris, what we found out as we went through to find the facts is that there was equal opportunity bad judgment. It was conservative groups, it was progressive groups.
At equal numbers, or not grossly disproportionate conservative groups over progressive?
There are an equal number of groups. The bad judgment was equal opportunity.
But not the number of groups. No, but it was like I think if over 100 as compared to maybe a dozen.
But you have to look at how many cases of each there were. And who
was responsible for it, sir?
Look, there were a number of supervisors, all career, who exercised bad judgment, who were relieved of their responsibilities. I think that what happened there is unjustifiable. It is not acceptable to have the kinds of screening for left or right, liberal or conservative, where you're targeted in any way for your views. There's no political official who condoned it or authorized it.
Well, so much for moving on. Joining us now is Jason Riley, member of the Wall Street Journal's editorial board. And we also have Anthony Chan, chief economist at Chase Private Client, with us today from their trading floor in New York. It's a good chance to kind of put this together on both politically and economically and see if the two worlds kind of mesh or if we're far apart on all of this. Because I said at the top, and I'll get to Anthony on this in a second, it's a huge week for the economy. But first, Jason, on the politics and the Obama administration strategy, phony scandals trying to move on from that. Are they accomplishing that? And what do you make of the strategy in general?
Well, it was interesting. After that exchange with Chris Wallace, Wallace tried to press him on whether the political appointee at the IRS had even been questioned in this investigation. He could not get a straight answer out of the Treasury Secretary.
From the person who's supposed to be conducting that investigation in Jack Lew. So
Jack Lew was sent out there yesterday to talk about how the deficit is falling, jobs are being created, everything's going fine, and by the way, all these scandals are phony. But if these scandals are phony, so is the economic recovery that he's trying to defend.
In what way? Because that's what I want to talk to Anthony about.
We're in the fourth year of an economic recovery. We have 7.6% unemployment. Labor participation is at an all-time low, or not all-time low, I'm sorry, a 30-year low. This is ridiculous given the stage of the recovery that we should be in right now. What is the president doing? He's out traveling across the country, talking to adoring audiences about universal pre-K and raising the minimum wage. I don't think he gets it. I don't think the public thinks he gets it. His approval rating is now 45%, according to a Wall Street Journal poll. Just 29% of Americans believe this country is on the right track, so I don't think he has much credibility on this issue.
Let's go to Anthony with that. He's the economist. The argument that Jason just articulated for us is a political one. He may be right about it, but it's a political argument. I want to go to you on the numbers because I said this is a big week for the economy. Who's right here? Are things getting better? Will we see that in the reports, including the jobs report at the end of the week? Or is Jason right and are the polls right? Or the people just don't feel like we're in the place where we should be?
Well, believe it or not, there is a lot of truth to go around, and the economy is, in fact, getting better. Jason is correct. The economic recovery is 2 weeks still, but we have created jobs. We lost almost 8.7 million jobs during this terrible financial crisis. We've now created 6.6 million jobs. We've lowered the unemployment rate from over 10% to 7.6%. Is it still too high? Absolutely. Is the economy going to grow rapidly this year? Absolutely not. We still are looking at growth in the neighborhood of less than 2%, and maybe, if we're lucky, 2.5% growth next year. So are we making progress? Absolutely. Is the progress something that we should tap ourselves on the back? Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's what the president's trying. I don't know about patting himself on the back, but he's definitely trying to shift the focus because he hit these phony scandals. What were you going to say, Jason?
I was going to say that one of the reasons that the unemployment rate is as low as it is because, fewer people are looking for jobs. As people drop out of the labor market, stop looking, that helps the unemployment rate. That's one of the reasons we have that. But just to give you an idea of where this president is in terms of jobs, he was asked over the weekend by the New York Times about the Keystone Pipeline. He said, that'll only be about 2,000 jobs, and we can do better than that. I mean, Who is this president in this economy to sneer at 2,000 jobs?
No matter what the number is. In terms of government involvement, though, Anthony, whether it's Keystone or anything else, what is there more, in your opinion, that government could do to create jobs at this point, or is it kind of just is what it is? Are we at that stage?
Well, I think that the government should do everything they can to stand out of the way of businesses to be able to create jobs. Jason is correct. The labor force participation rate is too low, but one of the things that wasn't mentioned is that the labor force participation rate has in fact gone up for 2 consecutive months. And another thing that should also be mentioned is that the 6.6 million jobs that have been created are real jobs, and that's irrespective of what the labor force participation rate is doing. And second and final point is that as confidence picks up both in the labor market and the overall economy, we should see the labor force participation rate picking up. And at that point, we may not see the unemployment rate coming down as quickly, but at least it will, in fact, show confidence on the part of workers and the unemployment rate more realistic.
Very big number Friday. Always good to see Anthony and Jason. I guess the shift has not happened in your view from the quote-unquote phony scandals, because I don't think you think they're phony, and the message is not getting out, right, from Jack Lew and others. All right, thanks to both of you, Anthony and Jason, for starting us off.